Hey y'all, welcome back for another video. Savannah here. I'm the owner of Roxy Road Clay & Co. and I know there has been a lot of new faces since my last video. It's so nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel and for following me on Instagram. I know I haven't been posting much here recently, and that's because we just had a big move. Hence why I'm filming this intro outside, because my workspace is just a hot mess, pretty much like me. I look a hot mess right now, no makeup. I'm outside filming this and it's hot. But today's video has been highly requested. I've gotten a few DMs on Instagram requesting it, so I'm going to be showing y'all 4 different ways on how I personally secure my posts to my components. Now, I do know there are a few different ways out there, so if you do yours differently, please drop it in the comments. Tell me how to do it. I love to try new techniques, and I'm always down to try new stuff. But thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, and without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty guys, let's get started with today's video. So the first way I'm going to be showing you one way to glue your post onto your component will be super glue. So I have already roughed up my surface, and I just take some sandpaper and do that so it adheres better. And y'all ignore my nails, I need to go get them done, but we're not going to talk about that. So the first thing I do is I just get my pliers, that way I can hold it easier. And this is the super glue I'm using today. It's the Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel Control. And then so you just put a tiny dot on there, and then I put it in the middle of my component and I just push down. But personally, I don't super glue my posts anymore, just because over the years, or over the last year, I found out that after some wear and tear, they do pop off. And this is one of my trial and error earrings that did not make the cut. So we're gonna let this sit for a few minutes, and then I'll show y'all how durable it is once it dries. So the next way you can secure your post, this is also another trial and error piece where I was just experimenting with some scrap clay. Another way you can secure your post will be with good old Bacon Bond, or now known as oven baked clay adhesive. But if you hear somebody referring to Bacon Bond, this is just what they're talking about. So I do put a little bit of super glue on the back of my post for this, just so the post isn't moving around when I go to spread my Bacon Bond out. So I will stick my post like that. Oh, my finger's stuck. That's okay though. So I'll stick my post down, and then to spread my Bacon Bond, I use one of these silicone tips. I got this from Hobby Lobby in the bacon section, and they also have a few more. I have this one as well, and then I have a few more. I think they come with like 4 or 5 in a pack, and they're only like $4 or so, so they're pretty inexpensive. So then I'm just going to squeeze some Bacon Bond out, and sometimes this can be pretty difficult. It's all up to you on how much you want to use. I personally like to cover my whole back when I do Bacon Bond, and this is actually my preferred method to secure my posts on. So then I just hold it by the post, and I put too much on this one, but that is totally okay because this piece is not going to be sold. But sorry for the wobbly camera as well, because my tripod for my DSLR is currently being used by a friend, so I am filming this on my phone with just like a tripod that attaches to the table. So this is what it looks like. It's very lumpy, but that's okay because I put a little too much on there. So I'm actually just gonna scrape a little off. There we go. And then just spread it out again. And you can also use a needle for this, like a needle tool or something. I used to do that, but then I came across these silicone tools. I don't even know what they're called. I think they're like cake baking tools or something. I don't know. If you know, drop it in the comments below because I do not recall what they are called. So once the baking bond is on there, you are gonna have to bake this. Usually I bake it for like 20-30 minutes at 265 and it is good to go. But as you see, I usually cover my entire back with the baking bond just so it gives it a smooth and even finish, even though this one's not that smooth. But if I were to sell this piece, I would spend more time on it and make it smoother. So on to the third way that I secure my post onto my backs. And all these pieces you see me using today, they are just pieces from trial and error when I was experimenting, and that I just didn't even like I didn't even sand them or anything. So we're just gonna pretend that these are perfectly good pieces. Okay, so the third way, you are going to be embedding your post with a piece of clay. So what I like to do is I super glue my post down. Again, that way it stays in place and it's not wobbling all over the place. So I super glue that down. And then this I've previously conditioned and rolled out super thin, about an 8 on my pasta machine, a piece of scrap clay. This is souffle, what is it called? Euchre, I think. Oh no, this is souffle ivory, my bad. This is ivory. But this is just a scrap piece of clay. And then I'm gonna take the same cutter that I used to cut out this shape. So we're gonna cut out another little circle like so. And then use our tissue blade. So be careful with this part because you can cut yourself. Just scoop it up. And then you're just gonna poke it over your piece and flatten it out like so. I usually take one of these to spread it to the edges. This circle is actually a little smaller than the one of my baked clay. And usually I would use one of these colors, but I'm out of this color. It's a copper color. I would have used that on the back, but I'm out of it, so we're just gonna use some scrap clay. But honestly, it doesn't even matter what color you put on the back. It's up to you. Sometimes if I'm out of a color, I'll just use black if I'm selling it. And then just kind of smush it all together. Alright guys, so I just went and smushed this some more off camera. That way it wouldn't take too long. And as you can see, it doesn't add but the tiniest a bit to the overall thickness of the clay. Now, usually I would go a little bit thinner with this, but I just didn't do that today. So this will have to be baked, and then once it's baked, I will show you how strong it is after it's cured and everything. So the fourth way that I have used to secure my backs on my post would be resin. So this piece was a custom order for a little girl, and it has resin on the front, super nice and shiny, and then I covered the back in resin as well. So as you can see, this post, resin is one of like the most durable out of all of them. This post is not going anywhere. It's even like bending as I'm trying to pull it off. But this is super strong, it's not going anywhere. And resin is also, I have found that it's friendly with ears, and it doesn't cause, like, if people have sensitive ears, it's not gonna mess with their ears. That's what I've found out. And sorry guys if y'all hear anything in the background, that's just my dogs coming in to say hello and to see me. So here's the one that we did with super glue. See, it's pretty strong too. But I used to do this method all the time with super glue, but I personally don't do it anymore just because it doesn't last as long in my opinion. But if this works for you, hey, keep doing it. Do whatever works best for you. But I'm gonna go bake those other two pieces right now in my oven, and then I will be back to show y'all the finished results. Alright guys, so these pieces just got done baking in the oven, and this is the one that we ended up embedding, and it's super strong. This is not going anywhere. It's not going to come off anytime soon, and this is honestly one of my favorite ways to embed studs because it just gives you that smooth back. Now it can be kind of tricky on pieces like this one because they have a bunch of details and like small crevices and stuff, so personally I would just either use resin or bacon bond on a piece like this, but if it's just a simple stud, I will embed my backs. Now here is the bacon bond. This one is also super secure, not gonna go anywhere. This is pretty much how I embed almost all of my pieces. I pretty much flop back and forth between resin embedding with clay or bacon bond, but just depends on how I'm feeling that day. I love all of them equally. This one, as you can see, it's a little lumpy, and that's because I didn't do that great of a job spreading it out, but that's okay because this is not being sold. It's just for video purposes only. But these are the 4 ways that I have and still use to embed / secure my post to my backs. But thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting the channel. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.